The beautiful James Bond girls have bewitched movie buffs for decades. Strange as it seems, the original Bond girl was inspired by a true-life spy every bit as fascinating as her silver screen counterparts. When the Nazis invaded her native Poland in 1939, Countess Krystyna Skarbek traveled to London and volunteered for a new British spy agency formed to operate behind enemy lines. Krystyna Granville, as she later came to be known, was inserted into Hungary after just a few weeks of training. There, she teamed up with Andrew Kowarski, a Polish patriot and hero who became her lifelong partner and lover. While Andrew smuggled pilots out of Poland to fly for the Royal Air Force, Krystyna traveled back and forth across the border, gathering intelligence, often skiing over the towering Tatra Mountains. It was said that the information she uncovered in Poland about the Nazi plan to invade Russia prompted Winston Churchill to call her his favorite spy. When Hungary joined the Axis powers, the couple escaped to British-held Egypt. Wrongly suspected of having become double agents, they were forced to cool their heels in Cairo for 2 years. When the cloud lifted, Krystyna worked her way back into the theater of war. She parachuted into France a month after the D-Day invasion to operate as second-in-command to Francis Comer, codename Roger, one of the most successful secret agents in the war. Her feats became the stuff of legend. She brazenly bluffed her way out of capture several times, once raising her hands at gunpoint to reveal them holding 2 live grenades. When Roger and 2 other agents were caught and sentenced to be shot, she walked fearlessly into Gestapo headquarters and duped the commander into believing American troops were nearby, frightening him into releasing the prisoners to save his own skin. Possessing an uncanny ability to communicate with animals, she once slid her arms around a police dog that pounced on her while she was hiding in the bushes. She stroked him quietly while his handler whistled up and down the road for him. The dog wouldn't leave her side for weeks. Not only was she resourceful, but her allure was magnetic. While Andrew was the love of her life, she left a trail of other admirers in her wake. One attempted suicide twice by throwing himself in a river and shooting himself over her. A fellow agent described the almost mesmeric attraction she had for men, a blend of vivacity, flirtatiousness, charm, and sheer personality. She could switch on and off like a searchlight and blind anyone in its beam. After the war ended, Krystyna interviewed for work as a correspondent and met a dashing British naval intelligence officer running a prominent news service. He told a friend, "She literally shines with all the qualities and splendors of a fictitious character." It's believed they had a year-long affair that ended when she became a stewardess on an ocean liner sailing between England and Australia. On her maiden voyage, she strangely befriended a lonely restroom steward. She seemed to take pity on the small, insecure man, introducing him to her inner circle back in London. For all her seasoned instincts, she failed to recognize danger in his creeping obsession. He stalked her until she grew weary of his infatuation and packed her bags to leave London and join Andrew again. Moments before checkout, he surprised her in the lobby and stabbed her to death. Krystyna Granville was only 44 years old. On the way to the gallows, her murderer's last words were, "To kill is the final possession." A year after Krystyna's death, the dashing British naval intelligence officer published his first novel. His name was Ian Fleming, and the book was Casino Royale, the blockbuster that introduced Commander James Bond to the world. Forever after depicted as the consummate ladies' man, 007 falls madly in love with the sultry Vesper Lynd, who tells Bond when they meet that she was born on a dark and stormy night. Although Ian Fleming died, never confirming the connection, Krystyna Skarbek was born on a dark and stormy night to a father who nicknamed her Vesper Lynd, which means like the evening star. In a life cut tragically short, Christine Granville shined like the evening star, a living, breathing prototype of the original Bond girl. Strange as it seems.